Hello and welcome to Innovate. I am your host. My name is Zach Robb. I am the co-founder of the Insight Shopping app. And tonight I am joined by Leo Vargas.
How you doing?
My good friend. And today we're actually going to do a question and answer episode. So a lot of the common questions and all the stuff that you guys send in for the episodes that we've been doing, we're actually going to take a whole episode dedicated to answering a lot of the questions that are coming in, because we do read the questions and we are listening to you guys. So thank you guys so much for following and seeing everything that we have going on. And so be sure to like and subscribe, because that actually helps us out a lot. And you can follow everything that we have going on, because we are going to start bringing you guys more Innovate events. We're going to start doing these once a week instead of once a month. And that is going to happen when everything starts opening up and we can actually do these events live. If you guys, for you guys who have been with us long enough, Innovate was a live event on stage, the whole deal. But obviously with the world we're in today, we decided to do this just on YouTube here with you guys to make it easier and safer for everybody, really. So yeah, Leo is going to lead us in with some questions. So if you want to kick it off.
First question, the most important one: how did you get started?
Yeah, so how I got started with Insight was I was talking to my wife. We were actually about to get married at that time, and I remember being in the kitchen, and I had an idea that I was playing with, and it was just an idea at that point, and I actually wrote it pencil and paper, and I just some ideas of, hey, wouldn't it be cool if you could shop and actually know the millions of stuff that you see in the stores? What if all those were somewhere like like in the computer type of a deal? And it was just a rough sketch of ideas, nothing crazy. And and that's one of the common lessons. If you guys saw the episode with Back to Cali with Dave at Back to Cali, he talks a lot about that too, where just kind of that that idea that you want to roll with, and you feel like it would do really well, and and luckily I was actually able to start making things happen. So really it just came to where I felt like I could make it happen if I really wanted to. And so yeah, that's how I got started with Insight. And that's it seems like a lot of people get started that way.
So how did you lose that fear that because even myself, I've had ideas, and out of nowhere you're like so hyped, you're like ready to like invest all your money in it, and then those fears start coming up, and then they're like, but what if it doesn't happen? Or what if I can't afford it? Or what if I put all my money and it all goes to the trash? How did you overcome those fears?
Yeah, so the risk, what he's touching on is the risk part, and you're always gonna have like, hey, what if everything like doesn't work out? Because 90% of the time it's not going to work out. So obviously I was aware of the statistics, the numbers part of it, where you probably are going to fail, right? That's kind of how it goes in business. And when I was looking into some of to get into start reading stuff about how business runs, how life is when you run your own business, especially early stage where you're not making money, that doesn't seem like that much fun. So the way that I got over the risk part of it was the stuff that I had read talks a lot about how you have to fail. Failing is part of how you get your skill set to then succeed, type of a deal. And again, a lot of these are actually lessons that I learned from all the businesses because that's what's really cool about what Insight does, is we work with other business. We help other businesses succeed, type of a deal. So we have a really unique insight, no pun intended, into what businesses are doing and how they were able to find success in what they're doing. So
because that's the number one thing that happens is that you want to start something and that fear pops in, because we all have ideas. We're talking about everybody wants to do something, but it's said that only 5% of people actually go through. We're not talking about really starting it, just actually put money, organize, and business. 5%.
yeah.
And out of those 5%, the percentage of people succeeding is even smaller.
Yeah.
Now you started this already, and it's already flourished. Mm-hmm. So now, how do you keep the momentum going?
Oh, okay. Yeah, because it's true. Like when I was first, and I was talking to my wife, and my wife, bless her heart, she actually supported me and she's always supported me. She's been amazing. But that's the other part of it, because you have your life, and you really have to sacrifice a lot of what you're doing to go, chase what you're trying to do. Mm-hmm. And so that balance was really, really hard to find in the beginning, because I kind of went all in, and you feel like you're falling because you're really out of balance, because I wasn't used to being a business guy, or I've never thought of myself as hey, like I run a business and whatever. Mm-hmm. And I never set out to start a business. I was more trying to see how I could fit in the world, because I was still trying to figure out what I was going to do with my life in general. Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
So how did you build a team?
So so I had the idea, I had the backing, because I had to have my wife, or else that's just not going to work out. And I knew from the very first day that I'm gonna have to have help. I don't know what I'm doing. I've never done whatever it is. And so the very first thing I did was I had a list of people that I thought would be really, like they could help me out with the stuff that I don't know how to do. And I was really secretive, because I was like, hey, this is $1 billion, $1 million idea, and I whispering and whatnot. And so I ended up talking to my buddy Aaron, and I know Aaron's watching, but so the reason I was like, hey Aaron, the reason why is because Aaron has that hint of crazy that we could actually make it happen if the stars align and all that good stuff. But no, so I met with him just at a spot. We were grabbing drinks, and I said, hey, like, don't tell anybody, because this is gonna blow up. So I had to do some convincing. I told him, hey, this and that, whatever. And so Aaron is the first one who, like, hey, let's do it. And then Aaron's brother, his older brother Rudy, hey Rudy, what's up? But I know you're out there. But Rudy has the technical computer background, and he's really, really good at like what he does at his work, because that's what he does for a living. And so that kind of just fell into place, because I was able to realize that I needed to have somebody to kind of navigate, because I didn't even know the first thing about going into business. So. Okay.
Yeah. So how do you see your insight in 5 years?
So 5 years into the future. Yes. So that would be what, 2026. Look out, 2026. No, we have big plans for 2021. This is going to be actually probably the most exciting year obviously 2020 was actually that was a crazy time for us as well, as far as like super, super exciting as far as everything that we were doing. But in 5 years, I could see other cities adopting what we're doing here in San Diego. Mm-hmm. and I think it'll do well, and again, it could even do better than it is here in other, because how other cities operate around the world, they're more centered and more community driven, and that's kind of like that's the heart of Insight, is helping people like myself who are trying to start a business and trying to pursue what they've always wanted to do. And Insight, I feel like we've done a good job so far of helping people do that.
So you're saying that Insight is the people's app.
Yeah.
That's what you're trying to say,
so
right?
we're for the people. And no, it's been a lot of fun. So I didn't expect to enjoy that part of it, talking to people and all that good stuff. Because believe it or not, I'm very shy, just type of a deal. And so that part of it, meeting with people, that's not the most exciting thing for me. Talking to people, just in general, I'm talking like, so I was like real quiet, but I enjoy working with local business, like, because they're the ones that you run into, and they don't think like how everybody else thinks. Like, they kind of do their own thing. They want to sell their shoes. They want to, do the pet grooming, because this is like crazy. Like, anytime you meet a local business owner, they have this whole like deal going on. Like, you could tell there's like equations going on in their head, and I enjoy that, just kind of that building process of starting small, because small business. But then obviously now with Insight, our goal is to help them grow and kind of just do everything that they have, the vision that they have for their business.
So just for wrapping it up, one last question. Since you started your venture, what's the number one tip you could give a person that's looking at this, saying, I want to start something? What's your number one tip?
Number one tip, if you're trying to start a venture of your own, the first thing I would do is the first step that I took is write your idea down on paper and play out in your head what it would look like to make it happen. If you are trying to. And before you make the jump to like, hey, I'm gonna spend all my money, I'm gonna, go make millions of dollars, be rolling, whatever. Make sure your expectation, because that's the other thing that I had when I was, because obviously, lessons learned, whatever. But because you think that you're gonna start making money, business is about money. I'm business, driving around in Lamborghinis and all that good stuff. And that is not reality for, I would say, 90%, whatever, like for people who are just starting out. And, money will come and success will come. But definitely do not try to start a business if you're only trying to make money, because there's actually way easier ways to make money. Running a business is not, if you're trying to make money, I would go different routes. Stock market, crypto. I heard that's kind of crazy right now.
That's pretty good.
I would do but as far as making money, do not start your own business. As far as that is, if you're trying to get the Lamborghinis and stuff. I
heard cartel's pretty good.
Yeah,
no, I'm just playing.
There's a few other avenues you can take, but because in the beginning, because you have to understand that. It takes a long time. And when I say a long time, I mean it took, we're on, from when I was in my kitchen telling my wife, hey, an idea, this and that, it's probably been, that was over 5 years ago. Almost, right before we were going to get married. And depending on what you have going on in your life at that time, when you do things, because you have to remember, you're gonna have to sacrifice a lot to really go for it. So just keep your expectations that you are not gonna make money in the beginning. You're gonna have to go through the grind. challenging. It's not a 9 to 5. You're going to be working all the time, and you're really never not working type of a deal. So you have to be you have to be down for that from the beginning. I feel like. So that's probably my biggest the deal that I tell a lot of because there's a lot of new businesses coming out now because of everything's reopening this summer here in California, and then in other states. There's a lot of businesses who are places that they're opening back up, and so there's been a few new businesses as we go out and we try to get businesses onto our platform. The people who are starting, this is like a really exciting time. So having said all the challenging and all the kind of the frustrating part of starting a business, I'll end on more of the inspiring part, because it does get better and it does get easy, and people will help you. Because in the beginning you don't know anything, and but as people help you, it gets better and better and better, and it just it starts building, like compounding, and at least that has been my experience. And I do want to thank all the guys who are following and have always been with us, and who have always kind of believed that this, it might work, and now it's working. So
it's wonderful. It's wonderful. Just gotta leave one more note that I just found this out recently. If you're gonna start a business, you can't do it on your own. It's not gonna work. Businesses are based on a team effort, and if you're thinking about jumping into a business, doing it by yourself, most likely you're gonna fail. So
failure is there. I mean, you are probably going to fail. But when I say that you're going to fail, that doesn't mean that you're gonna die and living on the streets, and you're not gonna be able to eat. Depending on where you're living. If you're living in the United States, you're gonna be fine.
we have SNAP, and then we have Section 8. You got unemployment.
But what I mean by that is that your worst fear, like, oh geez, I'm gonna die, like it's not reality. That's kind of like generated, and at least that was the case for me. I definitely thought about my wife leaving me, losing everything, all that good stuff.
All the good stuff.
And obviously, it's it's kind of irrational to think about that, and it doesn't help you succeed. So.
Okay.
I've managed to kind of make it to where I'm more focused on succeeding than avoiding failure, if that makes sense. So.
Okay. And if your idea is good, don't let anybody tell you it's not good.
Yes.
There's a lot of people who are going to be, no, that doesn't work. It's not going to work. It's trash. You're wasting your time. Yeah. Don't listen to them. If you think your idea is the best and people are telling you that, if you start it within 5 years and they see you that you're succeeding, and the sad thing about the situation is that close ones are the ones who say that. Your family members, your brothers, your father, your mothers, your cousins, they're like, it's not gonna work. And then you go talk to people that you never met, and they're like, that's dope. I want to get in. And you're like, oh, I wish my parents or my brothers would say that, so don't get discouraged.
Yeah, don't get discouraged. And it's a super amazing. It's been an amazing ride, a journey, and I'm still learning. Every single day I'm learning something new. So it's very fast paced. I love working on it. And so if you guys have a venture that you're working on, or you're trying to jump into a venture, or if you have any questions at all, be sure you guys can drop them in the comments, and we're gonna do another question and answer episode to really answer all of your guys' questions. So thank you guys for tuning in. This is Leo Vargas. He's been helping us out, and be sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next episode.